Hello, everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today's chess puzzle, it's a peculiar one.
Okay.
Let's set up the board. White has pawns on d5, b4, h4, and a3. Their king is on e3. The bishop sits on f3,
Okay.
and the rook stands tall on f1. Black's king finds itself in a rather precarious position. On h2, with their rook on e8, bishop on d7, and pawns on a6, d6, g6, b5, and e5.
Right.
Let's get this going. The first thing that jumps out is the black king's position.
Yeah.
It's incredibly exposed.
Absolutely. Not only is the king far from its usual safe haven, but its movement is severely restricted. It only has one legal square to move to.
And white has a lot of pieces
Yeah.
that could potentially take advantage of this, especially the rook on f1. That open f file looks like a major threat.
Yes. An open file means there are no pieces, obstructing the rook's path. That gives white a direct line of attack towards the black king.
So if we were white,
Uh-huh.
what would be our first instinct? Perhaps capturing the pawn on e5.
It seems tempting, but let's think it through. If white captures on e5, the black pawn on d6 can recapture, leading to a series of exchanges that might not benefit white in the long run.
Good point. So direct attack on the pawn isn't the best option. What about trying to check the black king with the bishop? We could move it from f3 to h5.
That's a good thought. However, the black king can easily move to g1, escaping the check. Again, white doesn't gain much from that exchange.
Okay, so we need a move that achieves two things. It needs to further restrict the black king's movement, and ideally should open up possibilities for white's other pieces to join the attack. What could that be?
Well, let's consider the pawn on e3. What if white moves that pawn to f2?
The answer is white. E3, F2.
There you go. Moving the pawn from e3 to f2 immediately boxes in the black king. Now the king has absolutely nowhere to go.
I see. And not only that, it opens up a powerful diagonal for white's bishop on f3, giving it a direct line of attack towards the trapped king.
Exactly. And don't forget the rook on f1. It's now eyeing the black pawn on f7, potentially leading to a checkmate threat in the future.
Wow. So that seemingly innocuous pawn move actually sets off a chain reaction, putting black in a very difficult position.
Absolutely. By playing e3 to f2, white has taken control of the board, forcing black into a purely defensive position. It's a great example of how a subtle move can completely change the dynamics of a chess game.
Thank you for listening.